Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the TweeTV Playcast. Jumping into this, we have a Yone top, Challenger EU West versus an Ornn. See, he's taking that fleet footwork setup, choosing to play Demolish, playing Second Wind. He's playing Triumph over Absorb Life, which is not something you usually see. We're following the Karthus on his way to his red buff here. Might start Raptors, we'll see. Anyway, this is our hero here. His name is Xani Krolik. Krolik, maybe? I'm not sure. One or the other. Playing the Yone top, has Flash on D, which not too keen on. But it is what it is. Running the TP, we're getting a bit of lore. Of course, I'm getting this replay from Challenger Replays, which, again, I'll leave in the description. Really, really good YouTube channel for getting replays like this. While we're watching the early game, I'll tell you a little story. I was trying to get, I don't know if you guys know Lol Dobby, but he's a really good YouTuber who looks at, I'm trying to tell a story, but the Ornn's just running it down here. I think we're okay. Really good YouTuber who looks at, never mind, it looks like the fight's actually happening here. Kami uses the Mantra Q to get a lot of poke damage on the Zeri. Ezreal Q goes really wide there. Wasn't even aiming anywhere near the Seraphine. Guarding this proc, and it looks like this trade is fairly even. Just going to be resets coming through from everyone. Yone's making his way to lane first. Ornn didn't take a significant amount of HP damage. That's really all we care about here. Whew, I was going to say a little bit of lore. Is I was trying to get replay from the same place that Lol Dobby, who's a guy who finds like obscure one tricks, like some guy who plays Shyvana top in High Elo Challenger in Korea, like finds really obscure picks that people play. And he has all these replays for them. Like, how do you get them? So I look at his videos, and it looks like he goes to a place called deeplol.gg. And like very recently, both op.gg and deeplol.gg, which are the two main places you get replays from, you can't get replays from them anymore. I don't know why. So it's a bit of a struggle anyway. We're still going to have a lot of priority over the wave here. We're going to go for a short trade here. Land the Q2. Ornn has his Q available. We actually miss our Q. Going for the minion instead of the Ornn there. And this trade is not that good for us. Of course, we're playing Doran's Blade, and Ornn is playing Doran's Shield. But we do make up for that in the fact that we are playing Second Wind and Fleet Footwork and Runes. So, despite the fact that trade didn't look too good, you'll see that the HP advantage is building. We did use our pot, though, and Ornn has not used his. But we have significant priority over the wave here. And crashing a wave into Ornn like this is really annoying for him. You see, he's going to have so much trouble last-hitting all of these minions here. He's doing a good job so far. Doing a very good job, actually. Got very lucky with the tower targeting there. But yeah, Ornn usually has a lot of trouble lasting on a tower. You see, he's going to be dropping a lot of CS on the range minions here. Nothing you can really do about that. Land the W, bit of poke there. Does max health damage as well, W. So against tanks like Ornn, against Kled as well, it's very similar to Camille in that. It's just completely disgusting if you just poke them with it, perma. No mana cost as well. Ornn manages to W our Q there. Does get the Brittle proc with the Grass proc. And that trade, excuse me, is not very beneficial for us. Yone top is one of those champs that has insane capabilities in terms of your micro. So I'm very interested in how this guy moves around, how this guy plays. Doesn't time the Ornn W cooldown very well there, but we are going for an all-in maybe. Flash Q and finishes him off with the E damage there. I did not think that was actually going to be a solo kill. Yeah, I didn't believe in the power of the Yone. But I guess he does know his numbers very well there. Looked pretty bad for my liking. Do actually take a tower shot as well. I'm actually not too impressed with how this guy's played it so far, but I guess like he knows his limits. He knows that he has more all-in potential over the Ornn. So he doesn't have to be taking these clean 100-0 trades. A lot of the time when you watch like really, really solid Yone players play, like I watched a Yone versus Riven the other day, and he was taking all these trades that the Riven wasn't even touching him, and he was getting these crazy good trades using the W shield, using his Q2 to interrupt the Riven's Q3, doing all this stuff, staying at 100% HP. And in this matchup, I'm watching this guy, and he's just getting slammed by what the Ornn's doing, but it doesn't really matter. And this is kind of the joy of playing a champ like Yone versus a tank, but I think he's overstayed a little bit here. Must have an idea of where the enemy jungler is, because he's very diveable here. Wanted to wait till the cannon wave to reset. Ornn has a very tough time shoving, particularly if he's just used W to try poke us out. So it is actually, in the end, a very good reset timer. He's not going to miss anything here if he TP's back, yeah. So it's a very good reset timer. Oh, I guess because it's a Karthus jungle, right? He's not scared of getting dove. That makes sense. It's a good reset timer, but I was going to say it's greedy. It's not actually, because it's Karthus jungle. Probably full clearing. Have a good idea that he's probably on his Krugs. We just saw the vision plant get hit. Very clean lost hitting there. Ornn is actually up CS here, though, by virtue of the fact we have to give prior over a wave to get a better reset timing. But we have hit our full build here. We have Berserker's Greaves, so Ornn is going to have a very rough time trying to trade into us. I'm interested as to the XP here. Ornn's trying to walk back into the wave here. We do E away from the W, managed to dodge out of Ornn's, and this is what I was looking for in terms of the trading. Though we're in a little bit of trouble here. Might have to 1v2 this. Dodging out of the Karthus Qs, get hit by one. The Ornn misses his Q as well. We're dodging really well. Our Q2 is available here. We're not playing the Conqueror setup, but we do have the extended trade advantage versus the Ornn. He's forced to flash, manages to flash, and then E into the wall. The Karthus is landing a lot of things, but we actually managed to take him out. We have Q2 available as well, and the double kill goes down. That was very, very well played from the Yone player. Karthus pinging on, but there's not, like, On really couldn't do anything there. It's mostly on Karthus to land the Qs. And Yone's just dodging out of them, weaving auto attacks in, making sure he's getting the advantage in the extended trade, playing around his Fleet Footwork proc, playing around his W. Doesn't even have ult available, and he gets the cleanest 1v2 I've ever seen in my life. And it really came from the first, like the start of that trade, where he doesn't get hit by the Ornn W, doesn't get hit by the Ornn E. So he gets an insane trade on top of Ornn, and Ornn gets no CC on top of him. So he's able to take that 1v2 as if it's a 1v1, because Ornn without cooldowns is literally just a little robot. He just walks around. Yeah, I mean, I was saying I wasn't impressed with how this guy's playing. I'm very impressed with how this guy's playing now. I think 90% of Yone players are dying in that situation. Dodging Karthus Qs, you know, sounds easy, looks easy. It's hard, man. It's hard. When they're this good, that's a challenger Karthus you're looking at. His movement prediction is going to be on point. WQ, come through. Look, we're 100% HP because the W shield's completely broken. We have level 6 timer here. We know Ornn doesn't have W. We're just going to go all out on him. And look at that trade. Look at our HP as well. This is what I'm talking about. We actually ult aggressively at him. I think we're trying to force him off the wave here so he misses XP. Look at this trade. He's so aggressive. Damn. I guess this is what you can do in these tank matchups when you're winning. Forcing Ornn off the CS as well. We don't know where Karthus is, but we know Nocturne's topside here. Ornn actually going for an all-in here. He has the ult available. We just get full solo killed. That is a massive mistake from us. Cool, the Forge God comes through and he just slams us into the wall. Breaks our body. Gotta feel very dumb now. Just got solo killed by 0-2 Ornn. And that's the base damage. You gotta be careful. Gotta be careful around these players, man. Ornn, deceptively capable of just one-shotting you out of absolutely nowhere. If you land, you can get 3 separate brittle procs. 3 separate brittle procs at this point in the game when he's maxing W is about 50% max health damage. And you combine that with the base damage from his ult, you combine that with the base damage from his E and his W, which does another 17% max health. Pretty ridiculous. Pretty ridiculous what this guy's capable of. So we are punished for playing that aggressively. I was going to say, like, there's a price that comes with trying to bully your opponent, like, overforcing it like that. It's something you can learn a lot. When you play a lot of these, like, Yone's not really one of these champions. It's a lot more finesse than I'd say, like, a Renekton does. When you play these Renektons, these Dariuses, where the whole game plan is once you get ahead, you just want to force it down your opponent's throat and never let them play. You can actually fall into the habit of overforcing a little bit, where you're trying to get these players, but you're taking 2 tower shots to land that WQ. And our hero didn't do that, but he didn't. He whiffed his ult entirely. He just ulted the minions, and then takes a massive trade from Ornn. Checks the red buff here, drops a ward. That ward actually sees the red buff. That's interesting. Wow. I didn't actually know it was possible to ward that bush and see the red buff at the same time. That's a little. I'm going to be stealing that one. Very useful ward. On the blue side, of course, there's the ward that sees both Gromp and blue buff. Ornn does still have to respect us a little bit here, because we can E away from all his damage, yeah. Because if we hold out E in these trades, if we're not using E aggressively, Ornn just can't hit us. Gonna shove this wave out. Now, Ornn is actually up farm. So, yeah, this is what I'm saying. I think I've been impressed with some of what this guy's done mechanically. I know that this guy's infinitely better than I am as a challenger player. But I think a lot of what he's done actually has been a little bit too aggressive. I think a bit too disrespectful of the powerhouse that is Ornn. Taking too many trades here. Do have Demolish available. Yeah, this is a very good use of your E. You see, like, Yone plays this all the time. It's so miserable to be a part of this. Well-timed by Yone. Or not so well. Managed to land the Q there. Have the Fleet Footwork. Don't actually dodge out of the Q. We get W'd. He's not going to be able to proc the Brittle, though. Yeah, and this is what I'm talking about. That's well done. That's very well done from our hero. W to tank the Brittle damage and just constantly weaving in those Qs. He's spacing so well. The micro-tethering out of our hero is unbelievable. E aggressively forward. Ornn's not expecting that. He does have W available, but he's not predicting the fact that Yone's just going to Q2 randomly at him. And he's switching up the tempo of these trades. So he's constantly prodding Ornn. He's like, hey, when are you going to use W? When am I going to Q2 at you? Am I going to do it slower or am I going to EQ2 instantly? That's just a little thing. Like, obviously, Ornn should be able to perfectly W every time this guy uses Q2. But it's one of those things that's hard to do. Using the near side value to poke Ornn out of building his item there. Pretty rough. Rough to be Ornn. And now he's going to force Ornn to miss some last hits here. And again, before, when the wave was like this, he saw he was trying to zone Ornn off XP. But now he's being a little bit more respectful. Does understand that Ornn's Forge, called the Forge God, is coming back right now. Do just get full-on bonked by a flat W. Miss out Q2. Really well timed on the re-engage there. Ornn forced to use ult here. We do have E available. Flash is available as well. I think Ornn has really fucked it up this time. We Q2 through the wall and then ult. I'm going to replay this in case you didn't see this. This is really, really cool usage of the Yone Q2. So the wall covers up the animation, so Ornn doesn't know what's coming. Look at that. It goes through the wall, and then we ult immediately. Guaranteed kill. That's pretty sick. I'm going to be stealing that. I'm going to be stealing that. There's a lot, like, man, mechanically, this guy is really amazing. He really is when he turns it on. I think he's just disrespectful as fuck, because he can be. That's the big thing I'm noticing here. I think he's just giga disrespectful. But if he turns it on, man, his tethering is so good, his spacing is so good, and that all-in was unbelievably clean, and that's the most tilting reset I've ever seen in my life. 4-1 on the Yone now have the Blade of the Ruined King available. See a lot of people toss up between, like I was talking to one of my mates yesterday, he's telling me that people toss up between going Bork and Kraken Slayer first on Yone, and it's dependent on the matchup. I think it's a misconception. I think that used to be the case, so I think Bork is a little bit too valuable right now. All the Yone 1 tricks that I'm seeing, that 80% of the games, it might just be they're playing against tanks every game, but 80% of the games on like two or three Yone 1 tricks I looked at before this game, they go Bork first. So there are occasions in which they go Kraken Slayer first. I didn't look at the matchups. I'm not 100% sure on what it is. Very matchup dependent. Your builds. Karthus is taking. Look at the amount of damage we do there. Noxem just flashes at him. Not 100% sure about this. Noxem currently in a 1v2. The Ornn does not have Call the Forge God available. Noxem Fear comes through. The Q2 lands. Karthus is 1 HP in the backline. Ornn manages to W in the exact wrong direction. Quite a skill to be able to do that. And, yeah. I didn't realize that enemy team has Abadage. As we're going in for another trade here, we do have Q2 available. Ornn does not W it. And we're just going to go for the last hit there. We extend the trade a little bit longer than most people would. Just a bit of psychopathic extension of the trade, but this guy knows his ranges. He knows he can just tank a couple tower shots, keep going for the auto attacks there. Ornn is the one who disrespected in this case. Now the punishment comes through. Gets pretty oppressive once the Yone gets his Bork versus tank matchup. And you see this tower is just going to instantly perish. Another little top lane trick here. A lot of people know about this one. Not as interesting, but you see how he's leaving the tower, deliberately not lasting it until as many minions as possible die. I think he did it a little bit too fast there. Probably could have denied a few more minions. But it's also good for tempo just to kill it. With the highest level in the game by about an entire level. Zeri just ding level 10. She's the next closest. Well, you don't have Sweeper, but I think Abadage, by the way, who's the Zeri in this game, he's a pro player, isn't aware of this. Doesn't seem to be ready for the Yone gank. He does have E, though. And Zeri's very difficult to get. Wow. Sorry, the Noxan positioning there, I wasn't looking at the minimap. I thought the Zeri was just going to get out. But Noxan, he's clued in. Well played. Well played. And now we're just going to eat more plates in mid lane here. The Orianna should go top. Doesn't have TP available. But now we're 6-1 on Yone. We're just going to eat every little bit of gold we possibly can. We actually choose to TP bot here, so he's impacting the map as well. He gets a kill mid, gets the tower, and now he's TPing bot, has E and ult and flash available. Let's see how he plays it. Manages just E ult the Seraphine, flashes away the Seraphine does, and then ult him. Really well played from Seraphine. He's going to go for the last hit anyway. But the Seraphine has completely outplayed him there. Not a lot he can really do if the Seraphine's going to play that well. Shockwave comes through. Ornn is in a bit of trouble here. Call the Forge God comes out. Ornn is going to go for the R2. Does he E aggressively? He does. I think this is a mistake from Ornn. He's just inting. Rough play from all sides there. And I don't know if there's much that we could have done better there. I think E ult is good at the Seraphine. I think he didn't have the flash timed. Or he didn't have faith. Again, this is another case of being a little bit disrespectful. Maybe he didn't have the faith that this Grandmaster player was going to be able to do it. He's a challenger player himself. Didn't think the Grandmaster player was going to flash out of the way and then instantly ult. I didn't believe that was going to happen there. I've never seen a Seraphine do that in my life. Usually Seraphine players drool on their keyboard and then face roll their buttons. At least in my games. But he definitely has the Seraphine flash timed now. Going to rinse our jungler's red buff here. Playing Nocturne, so not, usually a low economy jungler. But I guess, if you're this fed, it works. See Jhin Flash is pinged. Good top laners like this, when they see a summoner spell ping like that, they're going to understand that that's their next target. They're going to think, okay, Jhin Flash, well, in a fight, that means I can Q2R at him. Because Jin's very low mobility. Of course, he's very fast, but no dash abilities. And look where we are. Again, when you're playing these splitting champs, when you're playing these champs that one-shot towers if you're left alone with them, this is exactly where you want to be. Rest of your team's on top side, looking for a Herald play. Abadage's hit a hover, but I think we can just E at the tower and get some big damage on it here. That's what he's looking for. Gonna actually look for an engage. And this trade is insane. Wow. We're going to die to the Karthus ult, though, I think, maybe. Shield bow is pretty good here. Wow, Jhin and Karthus both hovering here. We're going to get Herald for free, but we are going to go down. The Jhin... Oh, so close. The Karthus Q ticks right before our ult would get us away there. I wouldn't say that was disrespectful. I think he just didn't have the... It pinned on where they were there. I think going for the Zeri was actually... Like, he knows his limits really well there. That Zeri was pretty dead. Forced to flash away is the Karma here. I think they're just going to run him down. Jhin W is going to come up in a second. Of course, he doesn't have the Curtain Call. Rift Herald goes down. Orianna going to take that 675 gold up on the top side. Orianna, not usually a split push champion, but you got 6 scrubs. Yumi's a split push champion. Now, we are actually falling behind on Temple a little bit. It's 7-3, but we are not even the highest level in the game, and we're playing top lane. And I think it's just because, you know, two disrespectful plays in a row, or two plays where he doesn't quite understand that what's going on. I saw the call the Forge God just got used in the top lane. Seems Orianna is going to be okay, though. One's playing a little bit tilted. Yeah, and this is something I've actually stopped doing here in my games. I've stopped taking jungle camps of my teammates, but I think maybe I'll start doing it again, you know? Maybe I'll start doing it again. Maybe not in coordinated play. Maybe not when I'm playing for my team. But, maybe in my Solokills games. Oh, God! Oh, what the fuck? Oh, my God, what the fuck? Oh, shit. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Okay, what the... Oh, my God. Moving on. Moving on. All good. All good. It's all good. It's all good. This guy's challenger. That's a challenger player that I just witnessed. Whew. Abadage looking for an engage here. We do have Q2 available. He knows we don't have Fate sealed. Knows the Yone ult is not going to be up for this fight. Surprisingly short cooldown, though, is Yone ult. And we are looking for the dive here. Nocturne's here. And I think she's going to be very respectful of this. We have 4 players on the bot side of the map here. Turret's going to go down to the Demolish proc. Now we're putting pressure on the side lane up top, side lane and bottom. We're going to look for 3 mid. Classic 1-3-1. Works pretty well when you have 6 scrubs. Orianna split push again. Is surprisingly potent with the 6 scrubs available. And you see that over hovering top side. We just saw Jhin Karthus top side, so look what happens mid and bot here. Jhin Karthus on, all showing top side. We're going to Herald bot lane. And they don't have time to rotate to this. So instead they have to defend mid. They're probably going to lose mid and bot here. Mid tier 2, bot tier 2. Both going to go down on this, like in an instant, a flash. Actually, Karthus, or Jhin was able to shove the wave mid, so it's not going to die. One thing we can do here, if we're thinking, is we could rotate to mid right now. And we could force that mid tier 2. Instead, we're going to choose to pressure the mid tier 3. Sorry, the bot tier 3. We have Demolish available. Oh, wow, holy crap, that tower just got insta-banged. Now I think we should rotate to mid tier 2. Unless we have enough gold to just take a really good reset here. It looks like that. Curtain Call comes out. And I think the red side knows that they have to look for a fight here. Seraphine ult is really big. And the Karthus ult comes through as well. The fight is looking very good. We could try to hero play this, but I think we're just going to walk on out. Zeri W? She managed to steal the Gromp. And that's got to be quite tilting. Wow, looking for the Seraphine here. We have a vendetta against this bitch. Flash forward. Wow, we hate her. Holy crap. Wow, my God. Fate sealed on the Zeri as well. This guy is crazy. He misses his Q. I think he knows his limits, though. He has the shield bow available. Is this going to be a 1v3? Wow, the call the Forge God does come through. The W lands. Yone does not have his Q2 available anymore. Was interrupted and unfortunately is going to go down the second he comes back to his E, but the Seraphine. Little final reminder of how powerful the Yone is. Q2 comes through. Almost finishes her off. Remember me. That's what he said. Midwave's going to get shoved up. And again, we've just died. By the way, we've just died 3 times without getting anything. Because that death, we tried to take a 1v3, which respectable, you know, honestly. The death before that, we tried to take a 1v1 on a tower, but it wasn't really a 1v1. And the death before that, we just fucking ran it down. I mean, maybe he's got the Yone mindset. Maybe this is what you need to be challenger on Yone. You just need to have that belief. Have that belief that it's going to go well. It's going to work out. And honestly, it almost has. Like, just then, it was close. It was close. Still not a play I'd advise. But I guess when he's winning, it's solo queue. He doesn't really care. He's already challenger. He's just playing to have fun, guys. Now, I actually can't see where the Drake timer is. Oh, never mind. I'm blind. Drake timer, 4 minutes. Is that 4 minutes 50? 1 minute 30. I looked at the red buff timer, and I was like, that looks like Drake. I didn't realize, wait, red buff and blue buff are 5-minute spawn timers. That doesn't seem right. That's crazy. Same as Drake. Alright, never mind. Looking for their engaged mid here. We actually E really early here. Very interesting. Wow. Managed to get a kill. That engage range from Yon is ridiculously large. He E'd from blue buff and then just like go and killed Karthus on Raptors. And yeah, even though I wasn't expecting it, I thought that he was a little early. But again, I'm impressed by how aggressive this guy knows he can play. I'm a lot safer when I play this champ. And he's just soloing Baron. Fair enough. Fuck this thing. Let's get it. Nice. And Nocturne's here as well. Gonna shove the mid wave. Meanwhile, while we're taking Baron, Ornn's used ult on mid wave. Managed to take down the Ezreal. I think we're gonna have to rush this, speedrun it. Abadange's on the scent though. And Nocturne's 1 HP. I think this is very oh, the Q2 misses. Abadange forced to use ult, but our damage is ridiculous here. We Fate Sealed over the wall and chase him down. There's no escape. And now we're looking. We turn our eyes to the mid wave. Drake is spawning in 20 seconds here. If we get that mid shove, we can walk in a river here. Meanwhile, Ornn and Seraphine both chasing down our level 9 Karma. I think I've seen that before. Shoving the mid wave up really aggressively here. We have choices here. We could look to target the mid tier 2, or we could look to go straight for Drake. And that seems to be what's happening here. One Drake at 21 minutes is crazy. Because the first Drake was taken at 16 minutes. That's insane. Look how damage on this thing. Yeah, full one-shotting it. And this seems to be, yeah, this seems to be the Yone build that a lot of people go almost every game. This Bork into Shield Blow, into IE. And the damage is pretty high. Pretty solid defensive value as well. Lifesteal's pretty good. All the things you want on Yone. Now I wonder if he's going to opt for Death Stance as a possibility. A wave clear is so satisfying. Not as satisfying as other champs, but it's pretty good. It's up there. You know, it's up there. 22 vision, squad the blue trinket. And I see, by the way, we have one sweeper on our team because this Nocturne's going to use his blue trinket to ult someone. I think this is the worst thing you can, like, I understand it's like the cool play, like you blue trinket ult them, but I feel like it's such a terrible use of blue trinket. And like, so niche, and you should just have sleeper. Like, I despise this blue trinket Nocturne tech. Like, I understand that it's like, oh, but I'm solo queue, I'm gonna solo carry, but let's say your job as a jungler, man. Like, it's not your job. If your top laner can't go sweeper for you, and realistically, I don't think, like, Yone can go sweeper, but I feel like if he wants to be slitting, like, blue trinkets, nice. Now you have 3 blue trinkets on your team, a normal ward, and 1 sweeper on your support. Like, anyway. While I've been yapping, our Karma's managed to sprint into enemy jungle without mid-shove and died, and this is a high elo game on EU West. Meanwhile, Nocturne's decided to go in here. We had Nocturne Orianna combo. The ult came through, and Jhin is going to go down. Fate Sealed on 4 people comes through, and we're just going to finish them all off. The core of the Forge God is nothing. We slice down the entire team. I was too busy cackling about the Orianna Nocturne combo there. God, I saw this in pro. Meanwhile, our Yone player has just decided it's enough. Slices through the entire enemy backline. Ornn watches in horror as his team just gets decapitated in front of him. Meanwhile, Ornn just, he comes in, gets his Zeri killed and gets out. Zeri forced to flash away. That was criminal from Ornn. He walked in, W'd out Ezreal and just left. Psycho behavior. Meanwhile, Zeri fighting for a life on the battlefront here. The Baron is delayed. Ornn is in again. Look at him on the minimap. What a psycho. He's in. Get him. Get him! Oh, he doesn't quite get the Karma. I respect it. This guy's playing like a Solokills Titan. Absolute freakish behavior. Now, I wonder if we're just going to start the Baron again. I wouldn't be shocked if this guy he just goes over and starts hitting it. Oh my god, Seraphine has overstepped. This is our jungle lady. Forced to flash over the red buff wall. And I don't know what she thought she was doing there. Maybe she thought the Yone had reset, but forced to flash away. And now we have our sights locked onto a new lady. Next team fight out, Seraphine is first to fall to the meat grinder. Use E to shove the wave. Managed to miss the Q on the range minion. No biggie. Not a biggie. Oof. I'm going to take a quick yawn break while we take the reset here. This is where I wish I had control of the replay, because I'd be looking at mid-wave. I'd be telling you about these things. Let's have a look at the items, though. Ornn, level 13, has the first upgrade on his Sunfire Cape. It's quite a late level 13 ding from the Ornn. His mid lane is level 15. I guess he did get slimed in lane a little bit. And we're just going to look to get that mid prio, top prio, and start the Baron again. Yeah, you went for the Death Stance. Did Kazani Krolik, the Yone player. 400 gold shot down in the pocket. But we are extremely tanky here. Shieldbow Death Stance, we're a lot tankier than we look. Particularly if Jhin wants to start blasting into us, if Zeri wants to start blasting into us. I think it's going to take a fair few fourth shots to take us down. Now I think this Baron should go down. We see the Ornn is quite late here. We just saw him walking over that control ward down the bot side of the map. Karthus might be looking for the flash steal. We just Fate Sealed over the wall instantly. Snap engage. And we take him out. One-shot the guy. Despite his flash, there's nothing you can do. Karthus tries to flash the wall and just gets taken out. Sliced to pieces. The instant engage. And that's why this guy's challenger. Like, I didn't even see that angle. I was like, oh, Karthus might steal. This guy's like, I'm going to kill him. Karthus is already dead on my screen, guys. Don't worry. I don't even know if he had vision there. I think he just... I'm not 100%. Like, I'm looking at the map. I don't see a ward. I don't see no ward. So I think that might have just been like the crazy intuition, Yone, ER. Psycho behavior. Now we're just going to split top. Call the Forge God used in mid lane. This is the only chance that the red side has to take a fight here. But I don't know if the fight's winning. Given that our Seraphine and our Karthus are both dead. And we have faith in our team. We're just going to split top here. I wonder if he takes this 1v4. I wonder if he takes this 1v4. Here he goes. He's getting CC'd. He's getting locked up. Forced to flash away. The Ornn E is going nowhere. The Seraphine ult lands on some terrain, I guess. We are unfortunately going to go down when we're forced to return back to our original E location. But meanwhile, the mid tower is going to go down. We have 2 siege minions buffed up by the Baron. Just going to town. And that was not a display. Oh, my goodness. My goodness. Bye-bye, lady. Bye-bye. Seraphine had W and heal available, but sometimes you gotta understand when it's a lost cause. And yeah, I was gonna say that fight was not a display of highest level of mechanics. The Seraphine hit absolutely no one. Ornn E'd some air, but it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, Yone went down. Now we have 3 open inhibs. Abadage has got a lot of work to do here. KC next AD King also got a lot of work to do. A lot of weight on their shoulders. Being a fed ADC versus a Yone who has 14 kills. I don't have to tell you how unfun that is. This guy can just E at you. And he's infinitely more movement speed than you can ever, like, dream of in your life. 41,000 damage. Doubling the next highest. Ridiculous. And a lot of this guy, I've been impressed by a lot of stuff he's been doing, but I feel like a lot of it as well, fairly doable. Like, none of it, like... Of course, there's a lot of high-level stuff that's going on to make sure that he's not throwing his lead, to make sure he's always getting tempo, make sure he's like always in the right spot. But in terms of the mechanics, despite Yone being notoriously like he's not one of the easier characters in the game, and people might say, oh, you know, he's pretty easy. Okay, characters like Garen exist, man. Like if you're saying that Yone's one of the easiest characters in the game, like you're on drugs, like you're on something. But I feel like most of the stuff he's been doing pretty doable. This is more how he's approaching where he is right now. So, like, look, again, his team's grouping mid. Very easy to group mid right now. But again, he understands, with triple open inhib, my identity is, like, first and foremost, they have no one who can match me. So I'm just going to split. I'm gonna create a problem that they can't solve with one person. And then what do? Because you have to overmatch me with more than one player. And if you do that, you lose mid inhib. And we can just E and hit this thing. Zeri has to be really careful. Our engage range is really large here. And look, they're over-rotating to us, and they're going to drop mid inhib. That's how it works. Or they're going to drop top inhib. They sprint back to mid inhib, and look at this damage we're going to do with it. Like 5 auto attacks, and it's gone. Blink and Ryan. Instantly back off. This is what I'm talking about. Look, Nocturne as well. This is completely chokehold. Complete chokehold. You just eat it again, and top inhib goes down here. They have nothing they can do. That's what I mean. If you don't have one guy who can 1v1 the Yone, you have to keep bringing more than one person to him. You have to eventually bleed out gold. Unfortunately, the engage looks to be happening on the bot side of the map. The Forge God comes through, slaps the Nocturne back in his place. Nocturne goes down to the Karthus. And looking for the massive engage, managed to miss everyone with our ult. It's pretty miserable. Not looking too good so far. But the triple inhib has gone down, and we only lost the Nocturne. Ornn has an ult, the Curtain Core comes through and just bang, headshot. One shot's the Ezreal. See you later. Karthus ult might take us out here, depending on how much damage it does. Never mind. Doesn't even get through our shield, but I don't think our health bar moved. And yeah, that's quite something. I wonder if we're going to choose to lifesteal off the wave here. Yeah, might want to keep drawing pressure here. Might want to make sure they have nothing to do on the map here. Jhin not overextending the bot wave again. Another example of someone who knows what they're doing is Challenger ADC understands, like, generally in that position, you can't go for that bot wave. But he knows when he's at danger, knows when he's not. He can constantly be pushing his limits. Hex getting back here. And we're going to need to be landing better ults than that if we want to win this game. That Karthus was free for the picking. He had no flash. When you miss our Q2, miss our ult. And I think if that Karthus goes down there, it's a completely different scenario. There's no Karthus ult that comes through afterwards. There's no massive damage that our whole team's going to take. Now Jhin might be a little bit out of position here. Although, with the accuracy of our R's so far, I'm not too afraid, on behalf of the Jhin. I have belief that this guy's just going to E and then R backwards. Can see that coming. Now we're walking up on the mid-wave here. Ornn does have ult back available, and the Seraphine ult is also up, so we do have to be a little bit careful that Seraphine doesn't just, line our teammates up and then ult through our entire team. The Seraphine ult, Ornn ult, can wipe us. Particularly with a Zeri who has 4 kills on Jhin. So while this game looks pretty doomed because triple inhibs up, the team fight from the enemy team is something to be feared. It's something to be respected. But we do have 4 little supers coming, 6 little super guys coming through on every wave, and we're about to get Baron on them. So I think the best way to play this as our team is to try and win the game without necessarily taking a fight until the enemy team is forced to take one that doesn't look good. And it's a pretty simple thing to do. You just go take Baron, and then you just, sit in their base and wait for them to fuck up and engage, and then you win. Ezreal mistimes his WQ. We're not going to talk about it. That was quite mistimed, actually. That was... Oh, my goodness, he's done it again. Oh, gosh. Oh, my God. What elo is that? Grandmaster. Fair enough. Maybe he's, playing with one hand or something. Not having the best game as our Ezreal player. And again, yeah, none of this has been too impressive. Macro-wise, it's been pretty good. Macro-wise, I'm impressed. But in terms of mechanics, it's fine. It's fine. Itemization has the Jack Shot finish now, and we are an unkillable demon. I'm very excited to see how he's going to play this fight. I hope that it looks really clean here. Karthus, look at that wall. Look at the size of that wall. We just brave it. We just walk straight through that. They might look to, again, they want to snap engage here. They want to find an angle onto one player. If they find an angle onto one player, then the 4v5 is not necessarily winnable for us. It might be, but it might not be. That's the real problem here. 5v5 is a little scary if there's a good engage angle, but again, this is what I'm talking about. They're just going to look to poke, to prod, force a terrible engage from the red side, and then end the game. This could be quite slow, but it could also end in an instant. They're just going to buff the waves. They don't have enough wave clear, I don't think, to deal with 3 Baron buffed super waves. 6 different Baron buffed super minions. Requires a complete truck of damage. I think this engage is a bit forced from Nocturne. We do have the Orion. Oh, come through. Fate Sealed. We're going to one-shot the Jhin. And we could just E out here, but we want more. We have Q2 available. I think that engage is not necessarily what we needed. But it has gone okay for us. We ended up going essentially 3 for 2, and we're going to just take out the Zeri here. Q2 lands on the Ornn. TP comes through from Oriana. And the game is over. Simple as that. A very interesting choice from Nocturne to just slam the engage there, but I think he had faith. He had belief in his team to be able to finish the fight. And that is exactly what they did. Game ends. Victory for our Yone player. Thanks for watching. I had a lot of fun making that. Yeah, I'll see you in the next one. See you soon. Bye-bye.